My name is Jim Gill. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. And in 1980, I met Dr. W. Edwards Deming, who taught me the things that he did with the Japanese back in the 1950s. And now what I do is I've used his information to create a system based on his profound knowledge to coach business executives and owners of companies how to use every brain of every person within their company to create a company that works for everybody. I think it was right around Thanksgiving, a friend of mine asked me to come over for dinner. And after dinner, he kind of shared with me that he was having problems with his company and that he was a little bit concerned about the economy putting him out of business. So he asked me if I would come in and take a look at what he was doing and see if there was something I could do to help him. I said, sure. So Monday morning I went in, and about half an hour or so into the morning, his wife Terri came up to me and said, hey, we're going to a benefit tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Would you like to go with us? I said, sure, I'd do that. So we met at 7 o'clock, went into the breakfast, and I found out it was a benefit for Parkinson's disease. Now, that didn't bother me at all, really. But as we were sitting at the table, when Terri got up to go to the podium, it really kind of shocked me because she was actually relating how she had contracted Parkinson's. I had no clue, no idea that happened. Well, what happened was that during the presentations, it was so touching. I actually got tears in my eyes and tears running down my cheeks. And at that moment, boy, I knew that I was going to help them get their company up and going. So we went back for a couple of days, or 2 or 3 days, whatever. I worked with John and Terri and Daryl, one of their employees, and started to get a handle on what was going on. And as usual in a small company like this, John was the company. He knew it all. He knew how to do it all. But of course, he was awful frustrated because he just couldn't do everything and have all the time to do what he needed to do. And then Terri was there to support him and help him, but she was very frustrated most of the time because she just couldn't do it to his satisfaction. And it caused her to, from the frustration, actually start crying from time to time. And that really bothered me. So about 2 weeks into it, I sat down with them and I told them that we could do some things that would really change the company, transform it into a real moneymaker, and if they would listen to what I had to say. I said they had to make the commitment not to just try it, but to actually do the things that I suggested. They agreed and we got started. Now, about a month into it, I had been talking to John and Terri and some other people, and I found out that John had, a few years back, had cancer and had beat it. The two of them had lost their house. They had lost their 401k trying to keep the company afloat. And it really, it really touched me. And so I recommitted that whatever we had to do, we were going to make it happen. By June, we finally got the financial numbers, and we found out that every revenue stream in the company, 3 revenue streams, had surpassed last year's numbers. And by September, we were actually at 150% of last year's numbers, heading for over 200% for the year. But the really neat thing that happened was that they went to the bank. The bank granted them a 6-figure line of credit to continue growing the company and developing the company the way they wanted to. Now, as I said before, Terri had some crying situations, and she told me it was okay for me to say that she cries now, but it's on the way to the bank. It's kind of a good thing. So my feeling about the whole thing is the things that Terri and John went through prior to me being here, nothing I could do about that. But after I got here, we started doing some things that really worked the way I had hoped they would. And I'm really proud of John and Terri because they stayed with it. They made the commitment. They hung in there. It wasn't easy. They had some trying times. But like I said, in 6 months, we got to the point where things were really kind of starting to run. pretty smoothly. So I'm really proud that they did that. But I tell you, I've worked for many larger companies and did a lot of what I would consider pretty neat things, but nothing has impressed me more than this small company, husband and wife, with a few employees. We doubled the number of employees over the 6 months, and now we have an organization that can really make things happen. And what I really wish for them is that they continue to grow their company at any rate that they want to do. I would also like to see them get their house of their dreams, and then relish kind of in the success that they brought and the impact they've made on the employees and their families.